Good morning and happy Tuesday. Let's go ahead and jump into this pre-market brief. I'm going to start off by looking at the averages. Yesterday was a phenomenal day for the market with the S&P ending the day at plus 0.47%. The NASDAQ ended the day at plus 0.90%, and the Dow Jones ended the day in the positive at plus 0.04%. Solid day in the market. Started off in the morning, pulling back just a little bit, then going green, then pulling back some more, then just pushing through the day. So we're going to see if we can carry that throughout the rest of the week. Let's go ahead and look at the global markets and see where they sit on the day. We have the Asian markets ending in the green, just barely for Korean markets. We got the Kospi at plus 0.07%. We have the Nikkei Japanese market sitting at plus 2.28%, still pushing off of Takaichi's win in her snap election to gain more control of the government and policy in Japan, right in line with what Trump wants for Japan. And then Taiwan in the day at plus 2.06%. So tech still pushing in Asian markets off of that momentum. In the European markets right now, as of this time of the recording, which is about 4:45 in the morning in Eastern Standard Time, we have the general European markets just barely in the green at plus 0.09%. They're going through earnings season also. We have the CAC sitting at plus 0.40%. That's French markets, and the DAX German market sitting at plus 0.2%. So just barely in the green. But I do want to say that global markets are looking great. Let's go to our averages. We'll look at the Korean ETF to start off this global market. So like I've said multiple times before, making sure your portfolio has global exposure is a key way to balance your risk and to take advantage of different markets. As we see, the Korean market, as far as the yearly time frame, is sitting at almost plus 30% on the year. That's plus 29.65% on the year. Japanese markets, EWJ, the ETF that I like to use on EWJ is sitting at almost 13% on the year, compared to the S&P 500 which is sitting at plus 1.74% on the year. Now, one thing I want to note about this, there's a lot of people that are looking at Trump's administration and looking at what he's doing in the markets with tariffs, with all of this geopolitics, and they're like, this isn't good for the country. It isn't good for markets, but it is. You have to understand what he's trying to do here. He's trying to make the world as a whole stronger so that the U.S., the American people, and their taxpayers don't have to pay to defend every single country in the world with our army, with our taxpayers, with our weapons. They can defend themselves to a certain point, and then we depend on each other. There should be within each country a standard of self-dependency, not completely isolating yourself, but being able to be self-sufficient outside of your enemies and within your own conglomeration of comrades. So being able to support yourself, being able to defend yourself, and then asking for support in areas where, you just lack. So it's just a balance to be had. And what America has done for years, and the American taxpayer has paid for the defense of the world, is subsidize the world's economy in general. And he wanted to change that. He wanted to change it differently. And typically, to cause major change, you have to cause some type of pain. And that's what people don't understand. They don't understand the long-term picture. They don't understand the bigger picture. They just look at how they feel in the moment. But that's besides the point. The pre-market is pushing green a little bit right now. Let's look at the portfolio. It's looking all right. With the market slightly green like it is right now, I would more than likely think we're going to pull back during the day. There might be some earnings that may cause the market to move a little bit, but right now we're just sitting break even in the market. So we will see what the day brings, but right now I'm thinking we may pull back a little bit after the open, but we will see. Once again, this is recorded at 4:59 in the morning. So the market and the pre-market may change in time when you see this video. Let's look at crypto very quickly. We see that it's pulling back right now. Let's look at Bitcoin. It is the index of the crypto market, and let's see if we got any type of movement as far as where we may be going during the week. And it doesn't look like we have too much of any. It seems like we're still in that sideways trend as far as the daily time frame is concerned. Just bouncing in between those two bounds that we noted yesterday, about 72,094 and the low being about 71,134. Let's go to the 30-minute time frames just to get a better idea of that bounce. So yeah, we're just bouncing between those bounds. Just a little bit smaller so we can see the boundaries a little bit. But yeah, that's our range right now. So if you're a swing trader or a day trader, you might want to, as of 5 o'clock in the morning, buy in right now, wait till it peaks again near 72,000, 71,000, sell out, and then repeat that pattern until we get a breakout to the top or the bottom line. But right now we're just bouncing between those bounds. Now, couple of things to note on the day. Ferrari is releasing their earnings today. I do want to say that there was some news that dropped today, or yesterday rather, about Ferrari and their new electric car, and I am very disappointed. I don't know if I'm gonna have the picture on this video right now, but the picture of their new interior, which they went to an Apple designer to help them design it. I was just like, this is, what kind of direction is Ferrari going in right now? It's frustrating. Not only the chart, if we look at the monthly time frame, we're still pulling back. We got a little bit of a green candlestick in February, so maybe we might have the opportunity to change direction going into March. But right now the chart isn't looking too great. I thought that it would get a little bit of a push because of Formula One season starting, but hadn't seen too much of a change. Weekly time frame, we're still showing that downtrend. We have our lower highs. Here's a low, or here's a high. There's a high, and here's our most recent high right here. So lower highs, and then here's a low, and our most recent low, and another low all the way down here. So we got 3 lows, $328 is our most recent low. We're gonna see if we're gonna break through that over the coming weeks. And our most recent high that we are watching is right here at about 432. That's very high. It's a weekly time frame though. So we're gonna see if we're gonna break through this lower bound. Daily time frame, give us any more detail. Seems like it just keeps showing lower lows or lower highs. There's another lower high, and you could call this another one. So we're just showing the downtrend. There's that channel. Not too much help, but that interior that they showed, man, I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, I may be exiting just to solely be invested into GM. It's American. They're entering Formula One. I love the livery. I don't know if you saw the video that I posted, but the livery, the black and silver, oh, and the white. Oh, I love black. Black's my favorite color. But other than that, let's talk about a few other stocks. Affirm, who wants to be the Visa, the new Visa and MasterCard, they did lock in another partnership with a European media company, Virgin Mobile, but they're called Virgin O2 now. But they did lock in their partnership with them. So now customers on that communications line, on those communications lines, they can take part in portioning their payments out. And the chart looks good for Affirm. Still providing those stair steps that we like to see on the weekly time frame. Daily time frame is looking somewhat solid. We're still going a little bit in a downtrend right now. We would like to see this change on the daily time frame, but in general, we're looking at the overall picture as far as the monthly time frame when it comes to Affirm, because we're thinking Visa and MasterCard for the long run, and the rate at which they are picking up these partnerships and these payment processing services, it's just phenomenal. Now they're going global. And I wanted to say this too, with their connections and with their opportunities in different markets now, it's going to give us a better idea of who and what, not only American customers, the health of the American customer, but the health of the global customer and the global economy. So we may be able to section out different areas in the world as far as how delinquency is faring in the European markets, in the Asian markets. So, hey, Affirm, keep doing your thing. We love to see it. We're looking for you to grow long term. Other earnings this morning, Duke Energy. I know y'all hating them right now, especially with the recent cold snap that the whole US had. But I added them to the portfolio a little bit earlier this year just because of the energy that's required for AI and its demand in general. So, and they're just a solid company in general as far as, look at this chart. Look at this monthly time frame. Look, it's freaking beautiful, dog. Look at that. That's phenomenal. Obviously, they be charging us an arm and a leg, especially for this heat during this cold snap. But besides that, they got their earnings this morning during the pre-market, so I'll be covering that. I'll probably have a video this afternoon for Ferrari and for Duke Energy. But other than that, Truist, if you know the bank that is, I believe their headquarters is stationed in Charlotte, North Carolina, baby. They have a conference that they're attending today and tomorrow with UBS, the bank, and Bank of America on tomorrow. So I'll be tuning into that. If there's any information regarding what they are what they're doing going forward, then I will relay that information to you guys. But their chart is pretty, as far as the monthly time frame, is pretty bouncy. It still has a general form that we like to see, but they have that big change in 2023 when the market in general was in recovery mode after the pandemic and has looked solid, had a little stair step there, boom, boom, bouncing to the top side. As far as the last few days leading up to this conference, just generally looking solid. Nothing too dramatic. Other than that, two other things. One other thing, Uber. Uber is the Google of the gig economy. Man, they're just dominating worldwide. I believe they just locked in an acquisition in Turkey. That's a market that they're really trying to grasp. And the partner there has about two food delivery and grocery delivery companies that is going to enable Uber to just expand their reach and expand their growth. Also, Uber is partnering with a Chinese company called WeRide, which I wish it would be way more American, but they're partnering with a Chinese company called WeRide that will be launching 1,200 robo-taxis in the Middle East, including Dubai, Riyadh, and Abu Dhabi. So robo-taxis are here and they're coming. So Waymo and Tesla need to catch up, man. These American companies need to dominate. I love the American dream, the American markets, American companies. We are the leaders, and I hope that we take advantage of this. But Waymo is doing pretty good, pretty solid expansion within the US, and we'll see what they're doing. But in general, the Uber Daily time frame looks like they're in a downtrend right now, and it seems like the market may be still going in a general downtrend when it comes to this season. But we are going to take a quick look. Should have did this at the beginning, but we're going to take a look at the S&P 500 and do a little bit of a chart analysis. I may reportion this video to the beginning, but we'll see. So daily time frame, we love to see it. We love to see it. This boundary right here, this was a low. Daily time frame, we have another step towards this upper boundary of what we got, 7,002 as the upper limit, which should be 7,002 as the upper limit. Now we're getting closer. This other boundary is at around 6,992. So $30 more, and we may break through that today. Looks like 6,000. We're at 6,980 right now. That's the high that we reached yesterday. So it'd be nice to see. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Oh, we love to see the steps towards this upper boundary. Will we push through it and head to new highs as far as the market is concerned? I don't know, but we're going to find out. Hourly time frame. One thing we do like to see, we did hit a higher low right here. Let's highlight that for you. Boom, at 6,905. So that is a new floor that we have set, and our most recent high is sitting at 6,980 right there. Boom, ceiling. So what we would like to see is possibly during the day, intraday trading, a bounce back down to this lower level at $6,905, and then bouncing even further, maybe pushing through to new highs for the S&P, NASDAQ, and maybe the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is usually a laggard behind the S&P and the NASDAQ though. But in general, that is pretty much it for today. Got a few earnings calls that I'll probably cover and put in either tomorrow morning's video or in the video this afternoon regarding Ferrari and Duke Energy. But other than that, that is going to be all for this morning. If there's any stocks that you're interested in investing in and you want my point of view on it, my analysis of it, I can do that live on these videos so that you can have an idea of if it may be a good idea to invest in it for the long term, swing trade, or a day trade, and go from there. But yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Let's build these portfolios, because in 5 years, I want you to have the opportunity to say to your boss, if you're still working for somebody, I don't want to work here. You never know what can happen to this money. $1,000 today can be 11,000 in an Apple stock in 5 years. So change your life, invest, and stock your future. I will see y'all this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Peace.